Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video and another public charging site review. So I'm here in Castaic. This is about 40-50 miles north of LA proper, and one of ChargePoint's new California Energy Commission funded sites just went online. Now, I normally don't review sites that aren't functioning, or I try not to, but this site has been officially announced. It's listed on their maps, it's listed in the apps, it's officially listed as online on PlugShare. It just happens that both of the DC chargers are broken right now, and apparently they have been for about a week. Now, I don't really need to charge here anyway. I went ahead and tested out the chargers. One of them has a fault, and the other one, the RFID card, just isn't reading. I tried to activate it through the app, and it still didn't activate. I didn't check the level 2s, but again, I'm not really here to charge anyway. It's enough to know that the site is on and that ChargePoint needs to make sure it's working. We'll see this reflected in the PlugShare scores, of course. And this is part of the reason I don't like to address reliability in my site reviews, is I'm usually going to be testing out these sites very early on in their life cycle, and there are probably some bugs and quirks and things like that that need to be worked out. So I don't feel that it would be fair to judge a brand new site the same way that you would a site that's been online for 6 months, people have been using, and they've been able to work out all the quirks and the bugs. So I think it's a decent site, and I think it's really important because I just came from the ChargePoint site at Tejon, and this is only about 50 miles south. So if you get to that point and all the chargers in Tejon are taken or broken, if you're in a long range electric vehicle and you have 30, maybe 40% battery, you can probably make this charger, right? You're going over the mountains, but this is a short run. This is a very short gap to bridge. Now, if you're in a shorter range electric vehicle, smaller battery, I wouldn't risk it with anything less than maybe 60% battery. All right, so let's go over the site score. So in terms of access, I want to give this a 9 out of 10. Now, it's a little convoluted getting in here, the way they have the parking structure set up. However, it's right off the freeway. And the other thing is, because this is in the back side of the parking lot, you're not likely to get iced or blocked out from these chargers, and you can actually access them from either side. There are parking spots on either side, so that really helps. And then the other thing is too, while there isn't full pull-through parking, which is the main reason it gets knocked down from a 10, you could probably find a way, to finagle a trailer in here just because of the way the parking site is configured. Now, in terms of amenities, I'm also giving it a 9 out of 10. Again, this is because anytime there's a gas station, store, things like that within walking distance, it means you really have all of the things that you'd actually need on a trip nearby, accessible. There's no full covers, no solar panels to block from like the weather or from the heat or the sun. So that's why it gets knocked down from a 10. It is well lit. I don't know how good the security is going to be here, but overall, like I said, it's going to be a 9 out of 10 for amenities. Now, in terms of site concentration, this will probably be the lowest I've given so far, but I'm going to give it a 4. This is just off of Interstate 5, just north of Los Angeles, busy interstate freeway. You have 2 chargers. At this point in time, we can't really be having, in my opinion, charging sites with only 1 or 2 chargers going in, unless they're in really remote areas or very specific types of routes. Now, in terms of location, this is about as important as you get. It's about 40 to 50 miles north of Los Angeles, and it's going to help bridge the gap between Northern and Southern California, getting over the Tehachapi's, either trying to make it over in the first place, or you barely made it over and now you want to charge up before you get into the city. I really do value charging sites that are about 40 to 50 miles outside of metropolitan areas, because I do feel like they are the most useful in terms of supporting EV ownership. Maybe some specific sites in metropolitan areas to support people who don't have charging at home or off-street parking. But outside of that, a majority of the chargers really need to be in locations like this. So it gets a 10 out of 10 for location. And then in terms of speed, of course, it's going to get a 5 out of 10. It's just average. These, yes, they're 50 kilowatt chargers, but that's just not fast enough for a highway stop. Overall, the score is 37 out of 50, which is, not great. It's a C. I hate to say it, but right now, C seems to be for ChargePoint. I really hope they start upping their game, adding more of their newer chargers, like their ChargePoint Express 250 chargers, to some of these sites, and maybe start linking them so they can provide 125 kilowatts or more. But yeah, I'm really hoping ChargePoint starts upping their game, but at least these sites are in place. Worst case scenario, they get you where you need to go, maybe not as fast as you wanted, but really, yeah, I'd like to see these sites be maybe 150 kilowatts moving forward. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, helps me scout out these different charging locations and give updates, and basically let everyone know what's available to them in terms of travel and where they can go. So thank you for watching.